In January of 2010, a man named Mike Uyama hosted a live stream raising money for a charity called CARE. The live stream would consist of people playing video games as fast as possible, while also promoting the charity and incentivizing donations from the audience. Although the event was intended to be held at a convention called MagFest, Uyama realized that the venue's internet would not be able to maintain the broadcast. So, Uyama and the 20 people participating in the live stream packed up and quickly found another venue that was far more prestigious: his mother's basement. Despite this setback, the livestream was a huge success, raising about $10,000 for CARE. But if that sounds like a lot of money to be raised by just playing video games, compared to the 4.9 million the same event raised in 2025. This is the origin of Games Done Quick, an annual event about raising money for charity by having players perform speedruns. Speedrunning is exactly what it sounds like, playing a game from start to finish as fast as possible. This might sound like a pretty simple concept, but there is such a profound elegance in how invested speedrunners become with the games they play. The way they understand every element of how the game works, and more importantly, how to push it to its limits. To illustrate this point, let's talk about the 1996 game Super Mario 64. Being a launch title for the Nintendo 64, the game does a great job showing off the capabilities of the system. It was a pioneer in the blossoming genre of 3D platformers. That being said, it's undeniable that the game hasn't aged perfectly, but it's in these cracks that speedrunners strive. You see, one of the moves Mario can perform in this game is called the long jump. When performing the move, the game will multiply Mario's current momentum by 1.5, meaning it can quickly be used to make Mario reach his top speed. And there is a top speed, since Mario's momentum while long jumping is capped at a value of 48. For forward momentum, that is. But what about backwards momentum? Well, there isn't a cap, meaning hypothetically Mario could continuously multiply his momentum by 1.5. One small issue. Holding backwards during a long jump makes Mario lose basically all of his momentum before he ever hits the ground. So, we need to minimize the time that Mario spends in the air. Luckily, Mario 64 is full of slopes, and if we long jump backwards on them, Mario will maintain his momentum much easier. It's this power that gives way to Super Mario 64's most popular category, 16-star. Around the end of a 16-star run, the player will encounter this big door. These blockades are all over the game, and require a certain amount of stars to open, only allowing players to continue the game once they've made enough progress. This one here requires the player to have collected 50 stars, which is obviously more than will be collected during a 16-star run. Luckily, right in front of the door is a staircase, so we long jump, hold backwards, and begin spamming the input for the long jump, and Mario gets so fast that he goes straight through the door. This is the essence of what makes speedrunning so fascinating. The way speedrunners can use minor coding errors or minute details and bend them to their advantage. There's something weirdly beautiful about this process. The way speedrunners will spend months and months trying to shave off just a few seconds. All for the pride of knowing they beat video games faster than anyone else. Some of these accomplishments are truly mind-boggling from an outsider looking in. A good example of this is the speedrunning community for the game The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. This is an extremely long game, with its main questline taking about 50 hours to beat, but speedrunners have beaten it in under an hour. Oh, I'm sorry, did I say an hour? I meant half an hour. The world record is 22 minutes 51 seconds. But how? How is this even possible? Well, Breath of the Wild takes a fairly unique approach to progression. As soon as Link finishes the quest in the game's opening area, the player is free to go and do whatever they want, including marching straight to Hyrule Castle and challenging the final boss, Ganon. But how to get there? The castle's a decent walk away, and speedrunners need to save every second possible. Link is without any of the stamina upgrades he'd earned by playing the game, so he can't run very far, climb too high, or use the paraglider for too long, all of which are vital movement abilities. So ideally we'd find a way to get to Hyrule Castle without worrying about stamina. But how would one do this? It's not like there's a bug that can make Link fly without using stamina, and can work with the few resources found at the beginning of the game. Is there? This is called the Bow Lift Smuggle Slide. It's one of the essential tricks it takes to speedrun Breath of the Wild. But what's so fascinating about it is that it wasn't discovered until 2021, 4 years after the game came out. This, more than anything else, shows the magic of speedrunning. Speedrunning isn't just about getting the fastest time, it's about the craft that goes into getting there. In a way, speedrunning becomes an oxymoron. Speedrunners try to beat the game as fast as possible, and yet they spend far more time with the game than the average player. Hundreds or thousands of hours all spent on one game. And at events like GDQ, you get to see how much it means to them as the passion flows like a river.
Weird, you guys will see me doing this a lot. This is stop hopping. It's kind of like this game's bunny hopping, but it's different. The intricacies, not worth going into. Something else I'm gonna do. Reload dashing, you slingshot forward. This is abusing a broken one bullet at a time reload animation. Sometimes you get launched up like this, and you can dash while you're in the air. It's pretty cool. It's only for short distances, though.
Well, looks like we're running out of time. There's still so much from this community to talk about. What to do, what to do. This game has a trick called rocket jumping, in which a player intentionally gets hit with the splash damage from their own rocket to boost themselves to areas they would not be able to reach otherwise. Speedrunners use this in the level Dead Simple, as the player typically needs to defeat demons to lower the exit platform in the center of the map. However, by performing a rocket jump, the player can reach the platform and beat the entire level in under 15 seconds. Ocarina of Time has a trick called super sliding, in which the player drops 2 bombs and tries to grab the second bomb during the frames right before it explodes. After this, as long as Link keeps his shield up, he will quickly slide backwards, allowing areas like Hyrule Field to be cleared much quicker. This one is somewhat of a personal example as I used to speedrun this game. At the beginning of the level where Octodad goes to an aquarium, he needs to get a ticket from the ticket booth. However, if the player aligns Octodad with the ticket dispenser as someone grabs it, the physics engine will launch Octodad so fast that he will go through walls. This trick is called Ticket Proxy. This game has a trick called Mock Ball, whereby morphing into a ball while in the air, Samus can maintain a lot of her momentum, helping her save time by not slowing down when going into Morph Ball form. This trick also lets you get through this room early, as typically Samus wouldn't be fast enough to get past these doors as they fall. During the fight against Soda Popinski, he will automatically get knocked down if he's countered with a star punch while he throws his right jab. The speedrun strategy for this fight is to force Soda Popinski to block jabs until he goes for an uppercut, then counterpunch to earn a star. Make him block another punch, which is followed by Popinski throwing the left jab, where the player can knock him down. Despite being one of the game's later fights, doing this can let you beat him in under a minute. Speedrunning is an essential part of gaming culture. In a way, it represents something deeply artistic about the medium. Speedrunners engage with the art in a different way than the average player, ignoring the way the developers intended to be played and carving their own path with the tools they were given, constantly looking for shorter and shorter times until the skill that goes into it is nearly inhuman. The speedrun for the game Super Mario Bros. Is the best example of this, being only 0.366 seconds shorter than what is considered the fastest possible run for a human to do. And it's because of the dedication of the game's runners, spending years upon years closing that gap a little at a time.